Hello, this is Adrian from my channel Random Drop. Been about a week and a half since my last video on World of Warcraft. I'm still playing it, still keeping up with it, doing my weeklies, and it kind of, again, it's weird playing two MMOs, right? Because you can only put in so much time into two each. 14 doesn't really ask much of me. I just have to show up a couple of times a week for a raid and make sure I just knock out my expert roulettes to get capped out on tomes, so I make sure I'm, getting the gear I need. So that stuff is, I can get done pretty quickly. In terms of World of Warcraft, right, there's so much you can do, but I really don't want to do all of it, right? I'm not going to be raiding in this game, and Raid Finder and the level of gear it gives isn't really worth it. So all that's really there for me is Mythic Pluses, and it's just a pain in the ass. If my friends are not online, it's a pain in the ass to run anything that's up past the +2 or 3. Some groups have crazy expectations. Being a DPS and joining through that party finder system is a fucking nightmare. It is just one of the worst designed things I've ever seen. And of course, if anyone needs a reminder, basically you can filter out like, hey, what kind of group you're looking for, but you can't even filter out what level of key, one thing, and two, what roles people are actually wanting, right? Basically, you click on the, hey, I want to join this group button, and the party finder person basically gets a large list of people who want to join, and they're usually all DPS, and you just gotta hope to God you're the one they pick. And if you're someone who's just not decked out, your chances of getting picked are very low. Or if you're a certain spec, right? I bet certain people will look and see that you're a certain spec that usually is on the lower end and probably be like, no, I don't want to take you. I've definitely seen that happen before. So people, of course, the higher level of gear you have, the easier it is for you to get picked. And of course, there's like an enormous healer drought at the moment. And yeah, the party finder needs some fucking work, right? Whenever I ask to join a group, it should just join immediately or something like that. Or people could set specific things of like, hey, this is what I am looking for. It is just a giant pain in the ass if you're trying to just party finder with random people. Of course, if you have a guild or a set group of people you're usually running things with, it's not a problem. But for those of us who are just kind of wanting to get in there, man, it's a huge pain in the ass. And a lot of those people are jerks to begin with. They're taking this game like it's a freaking esport when it's not. It's just some of these mythic people, man, it's fucking nuts. But other than that, yeah, I mean, anytime I'm actually getting into the game and getting to play, I'm having a good time. Again, I think I said I did do the raid finder. It was very boring and I got nothing out of it. No loot. And the boss fights in that first set aren't anything to be like, yeah, I want to go do that again, definitely. And it really just, these two games are so different, right? Man, there's so many things you could talk about in terms of like how things are designed and how much resources are spent on our assets, right? To make certain things animate in a certain way because they're in this part of the dungeon and makes the environment move around. And you see a lot of that in 14. In WoW, a lot of the bosses are just reused models that we've seen before. It's like a regular ass Vanthier guy, but he's a bit taller now and has a different name, and it has a couple spells that have like animations that you've seen before, but they just do something different now. But that lets them make giant raids, right? Because if every boss had a unique animation and unique model, then it'd be what 14 is doing, right? It's 4 fucking bosses a tier, but they are very unique in a lot of ways, but they're just in arenas as well. But yeah, the raid finder is nothing special. The WoW community is very terrible at doing mechanics or fights because of course their game has taught them nothing. They really need a trial fights or something, right? But their leveling process is just nothing. It is, you get to max level, you have been taught nothing. All right, go get in there, soldier. And yeah, I imagine for new players it is a horrendous just experience in every way. Like that, those people are not going to teach you anything, the community or the game. So you very much hope to God you have some friends around to teach you the ropes. Still keeping up with Torghast. I really don't need it anymore because I've upgraded my legendary helmet to like, hey, where I want it. And that's about it. Like, I don't want to fucking go in there unless one of my friends say like, hey, can you go with me? And I'll go with them. And going in with multiple people is a bit more fun in air quotations, or just a bit more interesting than running by yourself for sure. So definitely if you have some friends around, I would definitely go in there. I would rather do that than go solo, I mean. But yeah, just fucking Torghast, man. But I'm at the point where like I really don't need it unless I want to craft other legendaries, which I do not. I do want to craft it on my alt, but this game is so alt unfriendly. The renown system is able to catch you up, but there's no soul ash catch up. And yeah, I just don't want to do Torias on that class either, because it feels like shit doing it on a caster. I've pretty much dropped my alt. Like, I don't play it unless literally someone is doing the same level of content I'm at and needing help, and it's like, hey, I'll take my warlock, he's 160 something as well, and doing it that way. But I am not going to farm the damn legendary item and upgrade that legendary item all the way up. Fuck that. I hate, no, not going back in there. The mall weekly quest got increased to 10 souls now, apparently, instead of 5. Oh, that's awesome. I get to be there for 5 more souls. Great. It's still nothing, but you know, whatever, you go in there. I decided to walk around the mall a bit more and do some of those daily quests, because I'm close to like repping up one more time, and I kind of want to see what those upgrades are, just so like I have that information. But man, that place still, no. But I got my weekly piece from the, oh my god, loot. Holy shit. Do we need to talk about loot? Okay, I'm probably have to edit this. So what are we doing? What are we doing here? Why is the loot so just fucked up in this game? Why does every single person need their own loot table and their own chances of loot, right? Remember back in the day when just things dropped and you needed and greeted and you fucking moved on with your life, right? But now there's this like weird system where like shit is dropping, but it doesn't have the stats I want, so it's kind of actually useless to me. Oh, I can't trade it to this person who actually really needs it. It's like a 30 item level upgrade to that person, but no. Instead it's given to me and I'm just gonna fucking disenchant it or something. Or there's one thing, I needed an offhand, and it dropped for our druid healer, and my warlock needed an offhand, right? And it wasn't an upgrade, or it was like the same item level, so it wasn't an upgrade, but it had leech on the offhand, and it was technically better when they had, I guess. So they could not trade it to me. So I had to roll with like this item level 131 offhand while they fucking disenchanted this way better offhand in front of me. It's holy shit. And there's just so many dungeon runs we're just going through and getting absolutely nothing. Going through the raid finder, spending however gods it takes, and getting absolutely nothing in there. 35 fucking anima. Are you kidding me? 35 anima. What are we doing? Why is there not a badge system? Why are we still doing this? Why is Blizz so intent on fucking doing this personal loot bullshit? It is crazy how long people have been putting up with this shit. It's, oh my god, it makes me want to quit the game on its own. And everyone hates it. No one enjoys going and be like, oh yeah, I love this personal loot thing. It's like, no one, oh my, when it's going good for you, I bet you fucking love it, right? But it just, in a general sense, it's a fucking nightmare, man. It is the most unenjoyable experience in the world. And the fact that they even nerfed loot further, so people are doing like 10 mythics in a row and getting like nothing, it is holy shit. So yeah, I could fucking just go on loot for days at this point. And the way that you cannot trade it if it's not an item level upgrade, but there's like certain things that will make it an item level upgrade. And oh, it has a slot, a fucking prismatic slot on it now. Well, you can't trade it. It's so fucking vague, weird, and dumb. What if the bosses just drop shit on their loot table? Or what if they just dropped a token and then you can convert that token to whatever you want to convert it to? This needs to stop. This will kill your game eventually. People are so fucking sick of this. And I am so sick of it. I have never liked it. And it has only gotten worse over time. Fucking stop. Just drop some loot and need or greed. If you're certain classes and specs, of course it doesn't let you need it. People fixed this problem a long fucking time ago. I don't know what we're doing. Other than that, my little mini rant there. I have been playing 14. We are doing savage raiding right now. I do stream our prog every now and then. We've almost down the first boss because we don't raid very often, right? We put like maybe 4 or 5 hours in a week, spread between a couple days. We're very, very casual about it because it's one tier. We're like, there's no fucking rush. So yeah, I've been streaming that every now and then. I did put out my Cyberpunk 2077 review and kind of put my final thoughts out there. If you would be so inclined, you can always watch that. Please hit like and help a brother out. And leave a comment below. Like, how do you actually feel about loot in this game? And the personal loot system and how that stuff is dispersed, right? I used to like how much and different loot there is in this game, but how fucking just gouged you are, and not being able to build to certain things and not being able to help friends when they need it. It is a fucking pain. And I've heard that they nerfed the loot, or that loot system is in place so like fucking like high-end guilds aren't doing certain shit to like maximize loot. Fuck up, man. This game isn't an esport. Stop trying to build this game like it's a fucking esport. It is not. And I could go for all of Blizzard games at this point. They just need to fucking stop and just take a step back. But yeah, sorry. Please leave a comment below on how you feel about loot and how the game's been going for you if you're still playing. Again, I'm coming in with this a very casual perspective, right? Someone who puts a decent amount of time into the game every week, but I'm not gonna go in Mythic Rage. Like, I'm just not gonna do that. Hell, I'm not even gonna do normal raid because I just can't be bothered. I'd rather just do small, challenging group content, which is the most interesting part of the game to me. And it's something that lacks in 14. That is like one thing I will always say is like, man, small group challenging content is not a thing in that game. And like, there's cool shit like Baja that we finally got, but there needs to be more, right? That I can just grab a group of friends real quick and just do something wild, different, challenging, and progress in a way. But other than that, my name is Adrian from my channel Random Drop. Hit subscribe, hit like, hit me up on Twitch, and I will see you up next time.